Hi, it's Akanem. So I recently posted a podcast on root systems. It's part of my Paysetter series, which I started this year, and I'm glad to be back on the podcasting saddle after such a long, quiet season. But yeah, root systems is a really interesting one, and I think sometimes we try to separate out the role of the individual from that of the leader. And I think that could be erroneous because every person, every individual is actually called to be a leader in some capacity. And so along our journey, we are transforming, we are evolving, leaders in different ways, in different spheres of life. It could be in our families, it could be in our communities, it could be in our organizations, the businesses that we're building up. We require really good systems to operate there. And so this is just, to remind us of how important our roles as individuals translate into other things in our lives, and the need to test out those roots. As an individual, we have our life mission or purpose. We have the things that we want to achieve, and we go about setting principles or core values that help us achieve that mission, that purpose. It's the same with an organizational leader. They have to set policies, they have to make decisions, they determine the frameworks that guide the organization towards its mission or achieving its objectives on a daily basis. If the root systems of that organization are not stable, are not good enough, are not right, they can't achieve those missions. And I'm thinking about the leader as a single individual. I'm thinking about the leader being well in themselves. When we look at how fast-paced the world is today and how it has changed over time, we can see that there's even more need to pay attention to root systems. At this time in the world, we see that there's a lot of expectation, or there's a different expectation in terms of the role of a man and a woman. In the past, it was very easy to cut out those roles. The woman tended to be at home caring for the children and the home, and the man, was out getting the bacon, so to speak. But now there's a different expectation. There are different variables around those roles. In the past, there wasn't the added expectation around how quickly we did things. Now we've got digital transformation, we've got technological innovations that have changed how we operate, and so there's a lot more pressure on how quickly we can get things done. This has put an added amount of stress on the individual and executives, particularly leaders. This means that testing our root systems and reevaluating them on a regular basis is even more important. And that's why I have done this podcast, not just to share about my own personal journey and some of the things I've been able to deal with along the way, most of which have been relational, but how you as well could think about those root systems and what you need to do in your own particular life, on your own particular journey, to ensure that you're achieving stability, longevity, and of course procreativity on your journey. I hope that richly blesses you on your